Mr. Burnaby.
Families are at their wits' end because of the increase in the cost of life, and the Liberals' response is pitiful. They say inflation's not our fault, everything's going to be fine. But can the Liberals try walking a mile in the shoes of a parent who's had to cut the grocery budget to make ends meet? Yet there are things that the Liberals could do right now to help families. Why aren't the Liberals doubling the GST tax credit? Why aren't they upping the Canada Child benefit by $500? Why are they doing nothing to help people get through this crisis? The Honourable Deputy Prime Minister. Well, I'd like to thank the Honourable Member for the question, Mr. Speaker, and I'd like to take this opportunity to highlight that there is money that is going to be going out targeted to those who need it most this year. Let's start with this year. We increased the Canada Worker Benefit for the people who need it most. They are going to receive $2,300 more this year. As well, we will be providing a $500 supplement for those who need help with housing.
North Island, Powell River.
Mr. Speaker, Canadians are going hungry. Perhaps the Prime Minister and this Finance Minister have never gone hungry. Perhaps they've never had to suffer through pain because they can't afford medication because they have to pay the rent. Or maybe they've never had to walk to work because they can't afford the gas to get there in their own car. But those are the realities of Canadians across this country right now. While we know the oil and gas industry is reaping mega extra profits, Canadians need urgent help today, not months from now. Will the government finally step up for Canadians and make sure that they get double the GST and make sure that...
Deputy Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the fact is we looked ahead, and our government has already set in motion 5 important programs that will deliver support starting this year to the Canadians who need it the most. The Canada Worker Benefit, a family of 3 can get up to $2,300 more. The 10% increase in the OAS, a senior can get $815 more. The $500 payment to people experiencing housing affordability challenges. Dental care.
Honourable Member for Elmwood Transcona.
Mr. Speaker, when people lose their job, they count on employment insurance to keep their homes and feed their families while they look for new work. But the EI system has been broken for far too long. There are more people who pay into EI that do not qualify for benefits when they need them than who do. After almost 7 years in government, the Liberals finally tried to fix something about the EI system in the latest budget bill, and they fell flat on their face. So when are they finally going to fix the EI system and do right by Canadian workers?
The Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I apologize, Mr. Speaker. We are working very hard to modernize employment insurance. Quickly, when we got into the pandemic, we recognized that the way Canadians work, the EI system hadn't kept up with the way Canadians work, and that's exactly why we're working to improve the system in terms of adequacy, in terms of access, in terms of the individuals who pay in that don't yet have access. The member knows very well that we're working very hard on this file. Thank you.
The Honourable Member for Rosemont-la-Petite-Patrie. Mr. Speaker, today, Quebec's National Council of the Unemployed is launching a campaign highlighting this government's monumental failure to deliver on its promise to reform EI. The pandemic has shown that the current system doesn't work. The self-employed, freelancers, and women, for example, are left out. Real reform is needed so workers have access to good benefits to make ends meet. When will the Liberals finally fix the EI system to help struggling families? The Honourable Minister. Mr. Speaker, the pandemic laid bare the fact that reform is required to update EI. The government is currently conducting consultations on how to modernize the system so that it serves workers and employers better and to strengthen the rights of workers hired on digital platforms so that their work can be included in work that's eligible for EI. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
For Whitlam.
People with disabilities are relying on this government to fast-track a Canada Disability benefit to deliver support without delay. After years of a pandemic, the skyrocketing cost of living is leaving people with disabilities behind. We know emergency COVID payments only reached less than 1/3 of these Canadians because the data was not available. That is unacceptable. Will the minister fix this problem immediately to make sure no one living with a disability is left out of needed income supports ever again?
Full Minister.
Since 2015, our government has taken bold action to help persons with disabilities find and maintain employment and make Canada more inclusive. We've made significant progress, but of course, persons with disabilities still face serious barriers, to this in this country. And that's why we are introducing the historic Canada Disability Benefit and income supplement for working age Canadians with disabilities. Details of the CDB, including the benefit about and eligibility criteria, will be informed by ongoing engagements with the community in the spirit of nothing without us, Mr. Speaker.
Member for Saanich Gulf Island.